Could you move? You're in the way there.
Hey, wait a sec.
As she said that, my stepdaughter, squatting down, kicked me with her foot while I was cleaning the hallway. I lost my balance and ended up sitting down hard. This kind of thing was a daily occurrence, always happening when my husband, Simon, wasn't around, as if she was targeting those moments to harass me. Hey! Why did you even marry Dad?
What?
You're after his money, aren't you? He makes a good amount, after all.
That's not true at all.
It really wasn't. I didn't even know what Simon did for a living or how much he earned until right before we got married. Well, whatever. You'll be leaving here soon anyway.
What are you thinking?
If you want to know, how about you beg me?
That's not happening.
Are you sure? It'll be worse for you if Dad finds out. I couldn't cause trouble for Simon. I had left my pride behind when I divorced my previous husband.
Tell me, please.
You actually did it. That's seriously messed up.
It was a lie.
Of course it was. Are you dumb? I didn't say you could stop, though. Then, she tried to hold me down. Old ladies like you should just crawl around. I heard the door open, and Simon came back home. No way. He's back? It'll be much worse for you if you tell Dad. I couldn't say such a thing. What's going on here? Just noticed some trash on the floor. You're home early today, aren't you? Yeah, I am. Actually, I've got another business trip coming up. It'll be for a week. When does it start? It's still a bit away. I felt a chilling gaze from behind and got goosebumps. Though there was still some time before Simon's business trip, I ended up breaking my leg at the worst possible timing. Somehow, I managed to be discharged from the hospital, but that's when the real hell began. And Simon left for his business trip. Michelle had been eagerly waiting for this moment. I'm going on a trip, so give me some money.
What? There's no way.
Don't lie to me. I know about it. Saying that, she started rummaging through the third drawer of the dresser. See? I knew it. I'll be taking this as my travel funds, then. What Michelle had found was the $20,000 I had saved up for emergencies.
Wait!
Though I had been discharged, I still needed crutches to walk. As I tried to stand and chase after Michelle, she grabbed my crutches and broke them in half against the wall.
How could you do this?
I don't need fakes like you. Just try not to die. And so, I was left alone in the second-floor room. Michelle went on her trip, leaving me all alone. There was no longer any need to hold back. A devil whispered inside me. Seek revenge. 7 days later, Michelle came home and, sensing something was off, rushed upstairs in a panic. And so began my revenge. I'm Sally, and I'll be turning 45 this year. I live with my husband, Simon, and his daughter, Michelle. I had thought we would lead a happy life together when we first got married. Surely everyone thinks that at first. Now, I find myself reminiscing more and more about the time when I first met Simon. How did it come to this? Simon and I got married a year ago, but we were originally just shop owners and customers. I had just divorced and honestly had almost no will to live. At that time, I was managing a small cafe that I had started with my previous husband by myself. You will be fine. Thanks. Simon was a regular customer who often visited the cafe. I've been through a divorce too, you know. Really? But I thought you said things were looking like they might work out. I never thought that would happen, especially not cheating. And to think, she seemed so kind. I vaguely remember her face from the times he came to the shop with her.
And with 2 people at that. I almost passed out right there.
That's, well, shocking. We ended up sharing our feelings, comforting each other. Somehow, we clicked, and we started meeting outside of the shop as well. It began with just meals, but soon we were taking trips on weekends. By the way, you had a daughter, right? Is she okay? She's in high school now, so she's fine. But still, a girl, you know. Right. Sally didn't have kids, after all. Yeah, that's right. We thought it impolite to probe too deeply into each other's family matters, so we never brought it up. Though we never officially confessed, after nearly a year together, it felt like we were dating. Not that I was too hung up on definitions. Then, there was this moment. You know. Yeah? We seem to share a lot of the same values and thoughts. I guess so. That's why I think we're a good match. I think so too. So, we should probably spend more time together. Wait, what are you trying to say? Will you marry me? Marry. Is that a no? It's not that, but I couldn't give an immediate answer. I just couldn't shake off my ex-husband. My divorce was due to psychological abuse. And when he felt like he could be accused, he vanished, leaving only the divorce papers behind. Of course, I don't believe Simon would ever do something like that. I want to be with Sally, always. I'm comfortable with you. And I'm not asking for anything. Simon kept insisting on how much I meant to him. I've never been approached like this before. Are you okay? Sorry, got a bit too excited. Seeing him like that. I couldn't help but find it endearing. About your proposal, if you're okay with me.
Really? That's great.
But my worries weren't over yet. I had yet to meet Simon's daughter. That chance came soon enough. Let me introduce you. This is my daughter, Michelle. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I'm Sally. So, Dad's decided to marry Sally. That's right. Congratulations. Thanks. Looks like we'll have to move then. The engagement went over smoothly. Then came the moving preparations. I've never asked before, but what does Simon do? Now that you mention it, I haven't told you. He works as an interpreter. An interpreter? I would have never guessed. Right? Simon is fluent in 5 languages. But, he might have to travel for work, which could be inconvenient. That's okay. Appreciate it. The move went smoothly, and our life as a family of 3 began. Michelle, initially quiet, gradually opened up. Sally. Oh, no. Mom? You don't have to call me that if it feels forced. Just use whatever's comfortable for you. Thanks. So, I was wondering why you decided to get married. Well, maybe because I was passionately talking into wanting to get married for hours? Really? Dad did that? From what I've heard, Simon seemed to be a serious guy who didn't joke much at home. But, the Simon I've seen is quite the opposite, full of humor. Our relationship continued to deepen, and Michelle went off to college. But then, Michelle started acting strangely. Michelle, about Dad's upcoming business trip. She used to respond normally, but now. Sorry, but can you not talk to me right now? What's wrong? You weren't like this before. Huh? Are you seriously clueless? It didn't take long to see Michelle's true colors. Well, I'm off on my business trip. I'll be back the day after tomorrow.
Got it. Take care.
Okay, I'm off. It was the first time Michelle and I would be alone together. Ever since her sudden change of attitude a while ago, I've found it a bit difficult to interact with her. Maybe she's having a tough time adjusting to college. I couldn't tell. But Michelle made the first move. Hey, can you not get too cocky?
I'm not trying to.
Huh? Just look at how Dad acts. He's always talking about you.
That doesn't mean I'm getting cocky.
Your smugness is irritating. What are you trying to do, cozy up to Dad?
What are you talking about?
The complaints continued. Listening to Michelle, one thing became clear. She really loves her dad. Are you jealous by any chance? A moment of silence followed. Huh? Why would I be jealous of you? I'm not a child anymore. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I would regret saying that later on. Michelle locked herself in her room and wouldn't come out. Even knocking got no response. Then, the next day. I'm going out with friends, give me some money.
Money? Don't you get an allowance from Dad?
That's not enough.
Then, we can talk about it when he gets back.
Michelle, scratching her head, slammed her hand on the desk. Didn't you listen? I said I'm going out with friends. Just give it to me. Realizing she wouldn't give up, I decided to give her the money.
Is this enough?
Only $100? The shop's doing well, right? Give me more.
That's all you're getting. I could tell Dad, you know?
With a face like she'd swallowed a bug, Michelle left. I couldn't help but sigh. Why did it come to this? When Simon returned from his trip, Michelle acted as if nothing had happened.
How were the two of you? It was your first time alone, right?
Before I could answer, Michelle cut in. We were fine. Got along well, right, Mom? She beamed at me. Yeah, that's right.
Good. I was a bit worried, but it seems I didn't need to be.
Exactly. Dad worries too much.
Oh, right. I got a souvenir for Sally.
A souvenir?
Yes. Here.
The souvenir was the aromatherapy oil I had mentioned wanting before. Thank you. But wasn't this a limited edition?
Just happened to find it.
I felt Michelle's glaring eyes on me then. Maybe her insides were boiling.
Isn't there something for Michelle?
Right. Almost forgot. Here, Michelle, this is for you. It was obviously a much larger bag than mine. She lit up with excitement.
Thank you, Dad.
But when she saw what was inside, Michelle's excitement faded.
I remembered you saying you liked it before, so I chose it.
Thanks. I'm happy. Despite her words, her face was strained.
I'm tired now. I'm going to bed. Okay, good night.
Once Simon was in the bedroom, Michelle threw her gift on the floor.
What are you doing?
Why do you get something expensive and I get this childish stuffed animal? Michelle had received a stuffed animal of a character popular among the younger generation as her souvenir. Let's trade.
Huh?
Just give it to me.
Stop it.
Michelle tried to forcibly take the bottle of aromatherapy oil from me.
Dad will wake up, you know?
Then give it to me quickly. After a struggle, I couldn't match the strength of a teenager. The bottle slipped from my hand and shattered on the floor. It's your fault for not giving it to me sooner. Blaming me entirely, Michelle returned to her room. I gathered the pieces of the broken bottle. Luckily, a little bit of oil was left, which I carefully put back into the box. The smell of lavender spread throughout the living room. This wasn't how I wanted to experience it. I kept scrubbing the floor over and over. The next morning, Simon noticed the smell too. Did you use it already?
Yeah, but maybe I used a bit too much.
No, it's fine. I love this scent anyway. Then Michelle came into the living room. Good morning, Michelle. Smells good, doesn't it? Yeah.
Got classes today?
Yeah, I do.
Are they fun?
Kind of. She looked grumpy when she woke up, but her mood improved as she talked with Simon. Before we knew it, it was time to head to the shop.
I'll be leaving soon. All right. Is it that time already? Then I'll come with you. Just give me a minute.
Because our conversation was interrupted, Michelle started to get irritated. Her irritation was clearly directed at me. Even without seeing her face. Sorry for the wait. Shall we go then?
Yeah. Don't be late, Michelle.
Once we arrived at the shop, we immediately started preparing. Thankfully, we had a full house of customers again today. All thanks to Simon's various pieces of advice and even financial support, despite my objections. He insisted it was for my sake too. While closing the shop at 7 p.m., an unexpected person showed up. Long time no see, Sally. I turned around at the familiar voice.
Why are you here?
Why? This place is mine too, isn't it?
It's mine now. Leave.
I've changed. So, let's start over. I've remarried. I can't be with you. Even if I wasn't married, I wouldn't want to be with you. Realizing this could go badly, I tried to push past my ex-husband to get outside. But he grabbed my arm and pulled me back. I can't forget you. He started to lick my neck, giving me goosebumps all over. Then, I heard the sound of a camera shutter from somewhere. I couldn't see who it was, but they ran off immediately after. With that distraction, I managed to push him away and escape. Don't ever come here again. I'll call the cops. All right, he said as he left. My heart was still racing. I never thought he would show up here. I quickly closed the shop and went home. I'm home. No reply. Simon had said he'd be late, too. Maybe Michelle hadn't returned from school yet. I sat down to think about how to deal with my ex showing up at the shop. While I was lost in thought, someone entered the living room. It was Michelle. With a somewhat smug look. Michelle. To think you'd do something like that behind Dad's back. What are you talking about? It's too late to hide it now. Michelle showed me her phone's screen. It was from when my ex-husband confronted me at the shop. So, it was you who took that photo. That's solid evidence of cheating, isn't it? If I show this to Dad, you're finished. You're misunderstanding something. Excuses now? It's not an excuse. The person in this photo isn't a lover. Then who is it? Tell me. That man is. Your voices were loud enough to hear outside. What's going on? Just then, Simon came back home. Listen to this. This tramp was cheating at the shop. Cheating? Look at this. She showed Simon the photo. See, just like I said. This is. Simon was taken aback, as Michelle struggled to suppress her laughter. But then. Did everything turn out okay? Yes. Nothing else happened? No. He ran off when I said I'd call the cops. I see. What are you guys talking about? Michelle, did you really think this photo was evidence of cheating? Well, anyone would think that if they saw this. This man, isn't he your ex-husband? Simon asked, even though he had never shown her a photo of my ex-husband before. Exactly. He wanted to get back together with me. We need to come up with a plan then. She could be lying, you know. Enough. If that's what you want to believe, then fine. Time will tell. Later on, they went to the police, and the shop started to be watched more closely. Michelle's photo proved to be useful. It was also discovered that my ex-husband was already wanted for fraud. Since this incident, Michelle became much quieter and started to treat me kindly. Like when Simon and I first got married. Mom, I have a favor to ask. A favor? My friend's birthday is coming up, and I was wondering if we could use the shop to celebrate. That's fine by me. Thanks. She had never relied on me this much before. So, I ended up trusting her words, forgetting all about the past. But that trust would lead me into an even deeper darkness. Michelle kept being kind to me. Asking about the shop and my relationship with Simon, things she would never normally inquire about. This continued daily, eventually causing me to become suspicious. And then, the day came. I'll come by after the shop closes. Got it. Is something happening today? Remember, Michelle wanted to celebrate her friend's birthday here. Oh yeah, she did mention that. But keep it moderate. I will. I waited for Michelle and her friends after closing the shop. 5 people arrived, including Michelle. But all the others were men. For the time being, I prepared the alcohol we bought and the party started. Come on, Mom, have a drink with us. I'm good. I'm not much of a drinker. I've always just sipped on a glass of alcohol, hardly ever drinking. Despite my refusal, they kept insisting, so I ended up drinking a glass of beer. It had been years since I last drank, so it hit me instantly. Come on, it's a special day. Drink up. I lost count of how many drinks I had after that. Next thing I knew, I was sitting on the sofa. Michelle was saying something, but I couldn't make it out. Then, I felt like I was being undressed. My vision gradually cleared.
What are you doing?
Indeed, they were trying to take off my clothes. Now they were attempting to remove my skirt too. I tried to escape, but I was held down and couldn't move.
Michelle! Stop them right now.
Why?
Was everything a lie?
Obviously.
By the way, these guys are interested in someone like you. I posted online and they showed up right away. What about friends?
That was a lie too.
I don't even know their names.
I tried desperately to move, but they were too strong, and I couldn't do anything. Finally, my skirt was removed, and I was left in my underwear.
Look here. I'm going to record this. Do you think this is okay?
Oh right. Can't have sound, or it'll be too obvious. I'll have to delete that later.
What's the purpose of doing this?
To show Dad. To get a divorce. You're not needed here. You're annoying, so maybe I should gag you too.
Just stop it.
Really, you're so annoying. Just do whatever you want with her. In the end, I was stripped naked and violated by the men. I don't remember anything after that. When I realized, the shop was empty, and I just felt nauseous. I quickly got dressed and went home.
You're late.
Where's Michelle?
She's already back.
I see. I showered, trying to wash off the men's touch. I couldn't tell anyone about this. But this was exactly what Michelle wanted. After that, I had no choice but to accept whatever Michelle did to me. You're in the way there. Can you move?
Wait a second.
As I said that, Michelle kicked me while I was squatting down, cleaning the corridor. I lost my balance and fell. Hey!
Why did you marry Dad?
Huh? It's for the money, right? He earns a lot, after all.
That's not true.
Of course, it's not. I didn't even know about my husband's job or income until just before we got married. Well, it doesn't matter. You'll be leaving here soon anyway.
What are you planning?
If you want to know, why don't you beg me?
That's impossible.
Really? I think it'd be worse for you if Dad found out. I can't trouble Simon. And now, I'm at Michelle's mercy.
Please, tell me.
You actually did it. This is seriously messed up.
Was that a lie?
Obviously. Are you stupid? And I didn't say you could stop. Then, she tried to pin me down. An old lady like you should just grovel on the floor. I heard the front door open, and Simon came back. No way. He's back? If you tell Dad, things will get much worse. I couldn't possibly say that.
What are you doing there?
Just some trash on the floor. You're back early today, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got another business trip coming up. A week this time.
When does it start?
Not for a while yet.
I felt a chilling gaze from behind and goosebumps formed on my skin. Then, I ended up breaking my bones. It was all Michelle's doing. I was pushed from behind while going down the stairs at home. I tumbled to the bottom, and when I looked up, Michelle was laughing like she was possessed. I'll call an ambulance for you. But say you fell yourself, okay? After being taken to the hospital, I needed surgery. My left leg was fixed with bolts, and my right ankle was broken, leaving me unable to walk.
Are you okay? Don't push yourself.
Thank you.
I heard you fell down the stairs.
Well. Michelle was looking at us from behind Simon. Yeah, that's what happened. So silly of me.
For now, just focus on getting better.
Michelle occasionally came to visit me under the guise of checking in, but it wasn't out of concern, she just came to laugh at me. How are you feeling? Average, I guess. Just take it easy. Though, I guess you can't do much since you can't walk. I had recovered enough to walk with crutches. But even after being discharged, I couldn't feel at ease. Before I knew it, the day Simon had to leave for a business trip arrived.
I'm sorry to leave you like this, especially now. It's work, so it can't be helped. Michelle, you take good care of her, okay?
Yeah, leave it to me. Simon left for his trip. Michelle had been eagerly waiting for this moment. As soon as Simon left, she came to me.
I'm going on a trip, so give me some money.
What? There's no way.
Don't lie. I know you have it.
She then started rummaging through the third drawer of the dresser.
See? I knew it. I'll be taking this as my travel fund.
What Michelle had found was the $20,000 I had saved for emergencies.
Wait. How did you know about that?
I'm not going to tell you.
Did you sneak in here?
Maybe. Her expression made it clear it was true. She hadn't taken it before, perhaps wanting to see the despair on my face as she took it right in front of me. I tried to stand up and chase after Michelle.
Just die already.
She grabbed my crutches, smashing them against the wall until they broke in half.
How could you do this? People like you, a fake mother, are not needed. Just try not to die, okay?
And so, I was left alone in the upstairs room. Michelle went on her trip, leaving me by myself. It was clear now, I didn't need to endure any longer. A voice within me whispered, "Seek revenge." It was difficult without crutches, but not impossible to stand. I thought of contacting Simon, but my smartphone had been taken by Michelle, leaving me no way to reach out. But I couldn't just give up. Somehow, I made it down to the first floor, used an umbrella as a makeshift cane, and went to the neighbors for help. I borrowed their phone and called Simon.
What? Are you serious?
It might be hard to believe.
I'm coming home right away. Just hang in there a little longer.
Simon returned as soon as he could.
What happened?
I recounted everything Michelle had done to me since we got married, as far as I could remember. Finally, I mustered the courage to tell him about the incident at the shop. Simon was trembling either from anger or shock.
I can't forgive this, not even if she's my daughter.
Will you help me?
Huh?
If your anger is real, I need your help to get back at her.
Okay. What do you need me to do?
Well, about that. We prepared and waited for Michelle's return. 7 days later, an oblivious Michelle came home cheerfully.
I'm home. No one's answering? I wonder how she's doing. Maybe she really died.
Then, as she tried to go upstairs, she noticed something was off.
What? This smell, it's like something's rotting.
Michelle opened the bedroom door. And then she let out a scream that echoed throughout the house. Simon quietly approached the bedroom. Peeking in, he saw something resembling a person lying on the bed.
What should we do? Should we dispose of it somewhere? But it might be found immediately.
Hearing that, Simon burst into the room.
What are you doing? Dad? Why are you here? I thought you were on a business trip. I got a call saying Michelle was up to no good. But...
Michelle turned her eyes to the bed. She must have thought I was actually dead. I'm right here.
Why are you alive? Then, what's this?
Oh, that?
Simon and I prepared it. But I never thought you'd try to dispose of it.
How rotten can you get? We had found a love doll that looked like a person while searching for something convincing. It was expensive, but we couldn't worry about the cost.
So, you haven't learned independence at your age, huh? Then I'll dismantle that.
Go ahead. Michelle pulled out her smartphone and showed Simon the video in question. However, Simon showed no reaction.
What's this supposed to mean? Come on, this is clearly over the line, isn't it? This proves how dangerous she is. That's why you should divorce her. The only dangerous person here is you. I know everything. How? Did she tell you herself?
Yes, and you know what?
The shop is fully equipped with security cameras.
Everything was recorded. Even the things you ordered.
No way!
At this point, Michelle had no way out.
Just so you know, What you did is a crime. And so is what those men did. You've done something foolish. I wish I could punish you with my own hands.
Seeing Simon's face, Michelle seemed to lose all strength and just sat down.
The police have already been informed. You might even get arrested. Give up. You're no daughter or anything to me anymore. You've gone too far.
Soon after, the police were notified. A patrol car came to take her in for questioning. She looked as if her soul had left her body.
Are you okay? I'm fine. But Simon, I'm ready for whatever comes.
The police said that the men who attacked me were also arrested. They all claimed they were instigated by a woman. The exchanges on Michelle's smartphone were the conclusive evidence. Later, Michelle was charged as an instigator.
This was the right thing, wasn't it? Of course. Sally, you did nothing wrong. Yeah.
Simon hugged me gently. There was no comfort like it. Later, we decided to visit Michelle. She looked emaciated, almost like a different person.
Dad. You came. I came to see if you've really learned your lesson. Of course, I have.
I doubt that.
Why are you even here? It's all your fault, isn't it?
Simon sighed deeply.
Just like Sally said, you haven't learned a thing. No, that's not true. I really have. Believe me.
You're an adult now.
You'll have to live with your actions and their consequences. Goodbye.
Simon left first.
Now you see. If only you hadn't done what you did. Or maybe if you'd been more independent, this wouldn't have happened. What are you talking about?
You've been abandoned.
So good luck. Wait. Come back here.
When was the last time I felt this relieved? But the scars I've received will last a lifetime. Still, Simon is by my side. And that's all I need.